Have you ever heard that certain mistakes can make your eggs unsafe to eat? Eggs are often celebrated as a fantastic source of high-quality protein, brimming with essential vitamins and nutrients. However, what a lot of folks might not know is that if they're not managed properly, they can actually turn out to be harmful to your body in ways you might never have imagined. The reality is, whether eggs are beneficial or not really hinges on how you prepare, store, and cook them. In this video, we're excited to share 5 common mistakes that might turn eggs from a healthy choice into something less beneficial for you. You might be in for a surprise, especially if you've been enjoying your eggs the same way for years without giving it much thought. Once you get the hang of these key mistakes, you'll be free to enjoy your eggs without a care in the world about any hidden health risks. Stick around until the very end, because this isn't only about dodging pitfalls, it's all about making those little adjustments that can truly transform your health and happiness. Let's dive into what can go wrong when eggs aren't prepared the right way and explore some tips to ensure they remain a safe and nutritious addition to your meals. If you're looking to keep your eggs as a health-boosting superfood instead of a sneaky danger, you'll definitely want to pay attention to this. Hey there. Before we dive in, it would mean a lot to me if you could give this video a thumbs up. I'd love for you to join me in sharing these timeless lessons with others. If you haven't subscribed yet, I warmly invite you to click that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you won't miss out on any of our videos. If you enjoyed this video, drop a comment with the number 1. If it wasn't quite your cup of tea, feel free to share a 0 so I can make my future videos even better. All right, let's dive in. First up, we have the classic mistake of overcooking eggs. One of the most frequent blunders folks encounter in the kitchen when it comes to cooking eggs is giving them too much heat. Eggs are a fantastic source of protein, healthy fats, and essential vitamins. However, when cooked at high temperatures for too long, they can undergo some not-so-great changes in their composition. When eggs are overcooked, whether by frying them until they take on a brown hue, boiling them for too long until the yolk turns a grayish-green, or scrambling them at high heat, they can undergo oxidation, which might lead to the creation of harmful compounds. Oxidized cholesterol, in particular, has been associated with heightened inflammation and an increased risk of heart disease. If you've ever caught a whiff of a strong sulfur smell after boiling eggs for a bit too long, that's your clue that they've been overcooked. This occurs when the sulfur in the egg whites meets up with the iron in the yolk, leading to the creation of iron sulfide. Even though this doesn't mean the egg is toxic, it certainly shows that some nutrients have taken a hit during cooking. As time goes on, regularly munching on overcooked eggs might lead to some long-term health issues, particularly for seniors who are already a bit more susceptible to inflammation-related problems. Let me tell you about Robert. At 76, he had enjoyed a hearty breakfast of eggs every single day for years. He enjoyed frying them in a pan until they developed a crispy edge, believing it enhanced their flavor. As time went on, he began to feel some digestive discomfort and noticed that heartburn was becoming more frequent. Once he discovered the risks associated with oxidized cholesterol, he decided to change his cooking method for eggs. He began to prepare them over lower heat, opting for a soft scramble instead of frying them vigorously. In just a few weeks, he began to feel a lot better, experiencing less bloating and enjoying more energy as the day went on. One more thing to consider about overcooking eggs is that it can take away some of their important nutrients. Eggs are packed with vitamin B12, folate, and antioxidants such as lutein and zeaxanthin, all of which are great for keeping our brains and eyes healthy. However, when you cook them at high temperatures for a long time, it can really cut down on those important nutrients. So you might not be reaping all the wonderful benefits that come from the eggs you enjoy. When it comes to using eggs as a key part of your diet, how you cook them is just as crucial as the decision to include them in your meals. Here's the bright side. You can keep enjoying your eggs without worrying about those risks. Just keep in mind how you cook them. Cooking eggs at lower temperatures, like gently boiling, poaching, or softly scrambling them, is a great way to keep their nutrients intact and reduce oxidation. Frying eggs at a gentle heat and steering clear of overbrowning can really help keep them healthy and delicious. Little adjustments like these can really make a difference in helping you enjoy your food to the fullest, all while keeping those pesky health risks at bay. Next up, we have the topic of eating raw or undercooked eggs. Lots of folks think that enjoying raw or undercooked eggs is a fantastic way to pack in the nutrition. However, what they might not see is that it carries some significant health risks as well. Eggs are a fantastic source of protein, vitamins and minerals, but it's important to be cautious. Eating them raw can put you at risk for harmful bacteria, like salmonella, which can lead to some serious food poisoning. Stay safe and enjoy your eggs cooked. This is particularly worrisome for our seniors, as their immune systems tend to weaken with age, making it more challenging for them to fend off infections. A mild illness that might seem like no big deal for a younger person can become quite serious for an older adult. If you've ever enjoyed treats like homemade mayonnaise, raw cookie dough, or runny eggs, you might have taken a little risk without even realizing it. While salmonella contamination doesn't happen often, it's definitely something to be cautious about. When you have an infection, you might notice some telltale signs like a fever, stomach cramps, diarrhea, and sometimes even dehydration. For seniors, this can turn into a significant health concern, and in some serious cases, it might even lead to hospitalization. Many folks think that store-bought eggs are completely safe, but even the shiniest, cleanest eggs can harbor bacteria if they haven't been handled or stored just right. Meet Margaret, a lively 68-year-old who kicks off her mornings with a refreshing raw egg smoothie. For years she had been following this routine, convinced it was the best way to soak up all the nutrients. One day, she found herself grappling with intense stomach pain and nausea that lingered on for days. After a visit to the doctor, she found out she had salmonella poisoning. Little did she know that the egg she had been enjoying for so long might actually be the culprit. Once she made the switch to fully cooked eggs, everything changed for the better. She enjoyed all the same nutrients without any worries, and there were no more incidents to speak of. Another reason to steer clear of raw eggs is that they have a compound known as avidin. This little guy binds to biotin, which is an essential B vitamin that plays a key role in supporting metabolism, nerve function, and keeping our skin and hair healthy. Eating raw eggs can be a bit tricky because avidin in them stops the body from absorbing biotin effectively. If this happens over time, it might lead to some deficiencies. When you cook eggs, it deactivates avidin, which means your body can soak up all those wonderful nutrients without any hiccups. Some folks believe that raw eggs are perfectly safe, as long as they come from organic or free-range sources. But here's the thing. Any egg, no matter where it comes from, can hold bacteria. To keep yourself safe, it's important to ensure that your eggs are cooked all the way through. Scrambled eggs, boiled eggs, and poached eggs cooked just right, with firm whites and yolks, are all great choices for a safe and tasty meal. If you love those runny yolks, opting for pasteurized eggs can help keep things safe and sound. Cooking them all the way through is definitely the safest way to go. If you're still with me on this video and enjoying these insights, I'd love for you to drop a number 2 in the comments to let me know you're here. If you haven't subscribed yet, now's a great time to do so. Be sure to hit that bell so you won't miss any of our videos. We'd love to have you join us. Your support allows us to keep crafting great content that informs and inspires you. All right, let's keep going. Third on the list is the improper storage of cooked eggs. Most folks don't give it a second thought when it comes to how they store their eggs after cooking. However, if food isn't stored correctly, it can quickly become a cozy home for harmful bacteria, turning a delicious meal into a risky situation. When eggs sit out at room temperature for too long or aren't stored just right, they can turn unsafe to eat pretty quickly. Bacteria have a knack for multiplying quickly when the weather is warm. Once eggs find themselves in that tricky range of 40 to 140 degrees Fahrenheit, it doesn't take long for harmful pathogens to start making themselves at home. Just a few hours, in fact. This is particularly worrisome for our seniors when it comes to foodborne issues. When it comes to illnesses, older adults often feel the effects more deeply than their younger counterparts. Have you ever found yourself leaving a plate of scrambled eggs on the counter for a few hours, only to think, why not? And decided to dig in anyway? Well, you might have unwittingly put yourself in a bit of a pickle. The longer cooked eggs are left out, the greater the chance they have of picking up bacteria like Salmonella, Listeria, and E. coli. It's a good idea to refrigerate cooked eggs to keep those pesky bacteria at bay. Just make sure to store them in an airtight container and enjoy them within a few days for the best taste and safety. For instance, hard-boiled eggs are best enjoyed within a week, while scrambled or fried eggs can last a bit longer. It's a good idea to enjoy your eggs within 3 to 4 days for the best taste and freshness. Meet George, a sprightly 72-year-old with a knack for whipping up a big batch of scrambled eggs. At the start of the week, to make cooking a breeze, he would tuck them away in a loosely covered container in the fridge, taking out a portion each morning. After going through several rounds of stomach discomfort and feeling a bit queasy, he came to the realization that his storage habits could be the culprit. Once he started using airtight containers and opted for smaller batches, he found that his digestive troubles vanished for good. One more concern with eggs that aren't stored correctly is the chance of cross-contamination. When cooked eggs find themselves close to raw meat, unwashed veggies, or other foods that might be a bit questionable, they can pick up some nasty bacteria. Lots of folks think that cooked eggs are perfectly safe since they've been heated up. However, once they've cooled down, they can be just as susceptible to bacterial contamination as any other perishable food item. One common mistake that many people tend to overlook is reheating eggs the wrong way. Have you ever popped some leftover eggs in the microwave, only to find they come out with a rubbery texture or a not-so-pleasant smell? Well, that's just the way eggs are. They really don't reheat very well. Cooking them too much can not only zap away their nutrients, but also turn them into a tough, chewy mess that's not very appealing. One great way to warm up your eggs is to do it slowly on the stove over low heat. Just add a little splash of water or broth to keep them nice and moist so they don't dry out. If you find yourself using a microwave, try heating them in short bursts and giving them a little stir now and then. This way, you can keep that lovely texture just right. To keep your eggs safe and delicious, it's important to store them the right way. Make sure to keep them in the fridge and enjoy them before they reach their expiration date. The way you approach food can truly change the game for your health. Did you know that something as simple as storing your eggs correctly can help you avoid those pesky digestive troubles and keep you feeling great? It's true. Number 4, using eggs that are damaged or past their expiration date. One of the simplest ways to make eggs a health risk is by eating those that are cracked, past their expiration date, or not stored correctly. Even though eggs might seem perfectly fine on the outside, if they've gone past their prime or have a tiny crack in the shell, they could be hiding some nasty bacteria like Salmonella. For seniors, this is particularly crucial since aging can weaken the immune system, making it more challenging to fend off infections that younger folks might bounce back from with ease. Have you ever peeked into your fridge and found yourself questioning if those eggs are still fresh? You're definitely not the only one. Lots of folks trust the printed expiration date on the carton, but what they might not know is that eggs can sometimes go bad before that date or stick around a bit longer, all depending on how they're stored. A great way to see if something is fresh is to give it a quick water test. Put an egg in a bowl filled with cold water. If it sinks and settles down, you know it's fresh. If it's standing tall, it's still good to go, but you might want to use it soon. If it's floating, it's probably a good idea to toss it out. Let's talk about Evelyn, shall we? At 74, she's always been mindful of her diet, but checking her eggs before using them never crossed her mind. One bright morning, she cracked an egg into her frying pan and caught a whiff of something odd. Shrugging it off, she decided to go ahead and cook it anyway. Before long, she began to feel a wave of nausea and some uncomfortable stomach cramps. After a visit to the doctor, she found out that she had food poisoning from a bad egg. From that day forward, she began checking her eggs with the water test, and she never faced another problem again. Another key aspect to consider is the way eggs are treated before they reach your kitchen. When eggs are kept at the wrong temperature, be it during their journey from the store, while being transported, or even in your own fridge, they can start to sweat. This condensation sets the stage for bacteria to thrive, which is something we definitely want to avoid. It's important to keep your eggs in the coldest part of your refrigerator. Storing them in the door can lead to temperature changes that aren't ideal for keeping them fresh. Cracked eggs can be a sneaky little threat. Even if an egg seems perfectly fine when you pick it up, those tiny hairline cracks can sneak in bacteria. If you happen to bring home a cracked egg, it's a good idea to just toss it out instead of taking any chances. If you notice eggs that have a strange smell or any odd coloring, it's best to be cautious. These are unmistakable signs that they've turned bad and are best left uneaten. If you're still with me on this video and enjoying these insights, I'd love for you to drop a comment with the number 4 below to let me know you're here. If you haven't subscribed yet, I really encourage you to do so and hit that bell icon, so you won't miss out on any of our videos. Your support allows us to keep crafting great content that informs and inspires you. All right, let's keep going. Number 5, mixing eggs with unhealthy cooking oils. One of the most frequent blunders folks encounter when whipping up eggs is reaching for the wrong kind of cooking oil. Eggs are a fantastic source of high-quality protein, healthy fats, and essential nutrients. However, the type of oil you use to cook them can really change the game, turning a nutritious meal into one that might lead to inflammation and long-term health issues. It's surprising how many folks aren't aware that some oils, particularly those highly processed vegetable oils, can break down when heated to high temperatures. This breakdown can lead to the formation of harmful compounds that might affect your body over time. Have you ever cooked up some eggs using margarine, vegetable oil, or those refined seed oils like soybean, corn, or canola? If so, you might not have realized that you could be introducing trans fats and oxidized lipids into your diet. Unhealthy fats can lead to a host of issues, including increased inflammation, heart disease, and even cognitive decline as we age. Trans fats are quite the troublemakers. Unlike the natural fats that our bodies know how to handle, these sneaky fats disrupt our cellular functions, which can lead to some serious long-term issues. It's especially important for seniors to pay attention to their fat intake. You see, chronic inflammation can be tied to several age-related health issues, like arthritis and heart problems. Picture Frank, a spry 78-year-old who's been frying his eggs in vegetable oil for as long as he can remember. He never really gave it much thought. He thought oil was simply oil. After discovering the risks associated with highly processed seed oils, he decided to embrace healthier options such as butter and olive oil. Before long, he realized that he was feeling a lot more energetic after meals, and his digestion was getting better too. He kept the same foods on his plate, but he switched up the way he cooked them, and that little change brought about a big difference in how he felt each day. Another thing to consider with cooking oils is their smoke point. That's the temperature where they begin to break down and let off some not-so-great compounds. Several vegetable oils have low smoke points, which means they can become unstable when heated to high temperatures. When this occurs, they create free radicals, those pesky, unstable molecules that can harm cells and speed up the aging process. If you often fry eggs at high temperatures with these oils, you might be unknowingly adding oxidative stress to your body. It's a good idea to pick oils that hold up well when heated. When it comes to cooking eggs, you can't go wrong with butter, ghee, coconut oil, or extra virgin olive oil. Each brings its own unique flavor and richness to the dish. These fats do more than just make food taste great. They also offer important nutrients that help keep our brains sharp, our hearts healthy, and our overall well-being in check. If you're looking for a lighter option, avocado oil is a fantastic choice. It boasts a high smoke point and a lovely balance of monounsaturated fats, making it a healthy addition to your cooking. The main point to remember is that it's not only about what you eat, but also about how you make it. Eggs are a wonderful source of nutrition, but if you cook them in the wrong kind of oil, they can turn from a health-boosting delight into something that might lead to inflammation and disease. Just a small tweak in how you cook can really make a big difference for your health in the long run, helping you enjoy all the wonderful benefits of those eggs you love. In closing, it's brewing. Now that we've chatted about these 5 common mistakes, why not take a moment to reflect on how you've been preparing and enjoying your eggs? Eggs are truly one of the most nutritious foods out there, but it's the little things, like how you cook, store, and handle them, that can really tip the scales between boosting your health and putting yourself at risk without even realizing it. The great news is that steering clear of these mistakes is easy, and once you do, you'll be able to savor eggs in a way that genuinely nourishes your body. If you found yourself overcooking your eggs, consider turning down the heat a bit. This simple change can help keep their nutrients intact and prevent any harmful oxidation. Happy cooking! If you've been enjoying your eggs raw or a bit undercooked, it might be a good idea to switch to fully cooked eggs. This way, you can help keep foodborne illness at bay. Storing things the right way is just as crucial. Storing cooked eggs in the fridge and treating them with care can help keep those pesky bacteria at bay. If you've never considered taking a peek for cracks or checking those expiration dates, a quick water test can be a fun way to make sure your eggs are fresh and ready for your next meal. At last, choosing the right cooking oil can truly change the game, helping you steer clear of unwanted inflammation while boosting the nutritional perks of your meal. Your body depends on the food you eat to perform at its peak, and choosing how you prepare your meals wisely can truly make a difference in your energy levels, digestion, and overall well-being. It's not about letting go of eggs. It's all about savoring them in a way that brings out the best while keeping any possible downsides at bay. We're so glad you could be here with us today. We can't wait to hear from you. We'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell us one thing you learned today and how you're thinking of using it in your life. We truly value your thoughts, so please feel free to share them with us. Your comments truly inspire and uplift us. If you had a good time watching this video and found it useful, we'd love for you to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Your support allows us to keep crafting great content that informs and inspires you. We really appreciate you tuning in, and we can't wait to catch you in the next video.